sent to supervise the election and his group, and he has very vital information in terms of the security about that election. He delayed his journey. His flight is already about to board. He's moving from here to the airport. So, my precious brother, thank you for the privilege to have you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, my learned colleague. Let's appreciate him. In honor of him, I flew straight here, and then I'm proceeding through to Texas from Nigeria. Some of you may have seen the initial fact-finding report I gave here in the press club after the elections. I'm sorry to say that, having been in Nigeria for the supplementary elections, it was far worse than the preceding election. Wow. We saw the travesty where in Adamawa State, someone went to declare a winner in an election without the results. It was so bad that INEC decided to suspend the person. But the question arose, that person did exactly the same thing that INEC itself did, which is, up till this day, 94% of the results are in and haven't been completed, but they have declared a president. This is 2 months, yesterday was 2 months since the election held. And as we speak, the results have not been completely uploaded on the IRF. And so INEC is guilty of the very same thing that it is accusing the REC of Adamawa State of having done. Now we have a team of diasporans and Nigerians who are reviewing the election results. As you all know, challenging an election result is very difficult. You had 176,000 polling units. So how do you review the physical ballots in all those states? From what we see, it is purely an impossible task, humanly speaking, considering the logistics in Nigeria. However, we have a game changer in the IREF, which is that the results are supposed to be accessible to the public. But 2 months after the election, IREF results have not been fully uploaded. In one state like Benue, we found that over 700 polling unit results are not on IREF or are shadowy and unreadable. And this is what was used to declare a president. We also found out that in Rivers State, even calculating the results as posted by INEC on IREF, Labour Party won, but they declared a different thing. So this election is clearly one of the biggest frauds in Nigeria, and INEC is one of the biggest scam institutions of the federal government of Nigeria. I want to quickly turn our attention to the insecurity that has occurred in the country following the proclamation of the elections. I received numerous reports of massacres in Benue. I want to acknowledge my sister Yusuf, one of the biggest radicals in Nigeria. Let's appreciate this lady for the fire and brimstone she continues to unleash for the salvation of our country. But I went on a fact-finding mission to Adoka in Benue State, and what I was told was chilling. I was told that 3 days after the declaration of the presidential election results on March 1, the Fulani headsmen invaded a community and began to rob and rape members of that community. They did that for 30 days, and then in the first week of April, they started killing people in the community. The military arrived, and after 45 minutes, they said they were leaving. The community pleaded with them. Major Awal, who led that team, left with his troops. And 15 minutes later, the Fulani herdsmen came in and slaughtered 52 people in cold blood. Now, the members of the community tell me that these herdsmen came in to celebrate the victory of their enablers in the election. If you notice, the killing stopped just around the elections, but they have resumed with a vengeance after the elections, which means they're trying to make up for the numbers they didn't kill during the time of the election. And this is unacceptable. I was in that community last week. I visited people in hospital who were shot in the leg. A woman said, I was hunted like an animal, and she was shot in the leg. Another woman was shot in her belly. What did these people do to deserve this kind of killing? And what hope is there for Nigeria if APC cannot do anything about it and has now won another
term, so to speak. We understand that the president declared, I can't call him president-elect because he was not elected, he was declared. The president declared has just returned to Nigeria. We know that when there was an attack in Ondo, he rushed there and donated over 50 million. He has returned to Nigeria now. Over 50 citizens of the country he wants to kill, to rule, were killed while he was abroad. He has not made any effort whatsoever to go there to visit them. Is this what we're going to have going forward for another 8 years, so to speak? So, ladies and gentlemen, I will end my remarks with a comment about a very concerning issue that has come to my attention. Apparently, the veteran investigative journalist, Dave Hundeyin, gave an interview the day before yesterday, which was sent to me. He said he has requested the US government to provide information about Tinubu, his real identity, and his record. I will not take very much time, I will say this. This man has no footprint of existence anywhere before a community college in Chicago, Southwest Community College. He has no secondary school, no primary school, just originated in a community college in Chicago. Now, what is even more interesting is that his first certificate identifies him as female. In other words, the Bola A. Tinubu certificate in the gender column identifies him as female. So we either have Nigeria's first transgender president, or we have an identity theft in operation. The second thing about this fellow is that the Nigerian EFCC wrote to the US Embassy to investigate him and to confirm whether he truly attended Chicago State University. The United States Embassy replied. It was in a letter signed by the FBI legal attaché at the embassy, saying that they investigated and he did not attend Chicago State University. I have a copy of that letter. It has been in my files. I've looked at it even as of yesterday, and the US government has said so. The only document that we know is credible and true about this man is a court judgment where he forfeited $500,000 to the United States on account of drug money laundering. Wow. The only document that is known to be true. And so I requested the outgoing US ambassador to provide the records. We want transparency. If this man stole the identity of somebody, let us know. Because the danger of granting sovereign immunity to an individual who has been known to be associated with drug money laundering is that he can fly into the United States of America with a presidential jet and nobody can go on that plane and search it. Yeah. The United States cannot, neither can Nigeria, afford to have somebody with such a questionable antecedent to be president of the US's largest trade partner in Nigeria, in Africa, which is Nigeria, and one of its biggest security partners on the continent. So, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for giving me this brief time to draw to your attention the latest updates from our country, Nigeria, and I hope that we will one day be able to celebrate the liberation of that country. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
I'm still pleading with my prof, please, for another 5 minutes. We have